So you're going to create a Jerry uselman style photo montage, and what you're going to do is you're going to use it using Photoshop. So what first thing you need to do is find the stock images, and they are copyright free stock images that I've found. So you need to go into the drive and go to your level 2 photo folder. Go on the 2.3, 2.1 assessment, and you'll see Jerry uselman task. Okay. Click on stock photos, and what you need to do is decide which images you want to combine together. If you want, you can download a whole heap. I'm just going to do a really quick version. So I'm going to do the sky, hand, feather, what else? Chuck a tree in there as well. And what you need to do is you need to download those. So go up to more and click download. Okay, and you're going to do it as is. Okay, because they need to be JPEGs, and go download. Okay, and see they've come down the bottom here. They've gone into my downloads. So if I go into my downloads there, and I've got a whole heap of stuff in there, so let's just ignore that. There we go. So it's got the document exports. If I open that up, that's now unzipped it, and I've got a folder. And so if we open that folder, you'll see there's 4 images there. So then from there, you highlight those 4 images and drag and drop it into Photoshop, and that will automatically pull them into Camera Raw. From there, go select all, and that's going to open every single one of them, and go open image. And there they go. I'm just going to close out of some of the stuff to make it easier for you. There you go. From here, I don't really like them all stacking up, tabbed up like this. I find it easier for myself if I click on here and I do the little individual windows. Okay, because then I can see exactly what all the stuff is that I need to drag and drop over. Alright, so those are the 4 images that I'm going to combine. From here, we need to create a new file. And so you go File, New. You're going to create a 6x8 size. So go to Photo. Let's see if it's on there. No, it's not. Alright, so then you're just going to go Custom. Make sure you're set in inches. Very important. I'm going to do it so that my width is 8. I'm going to do 6 high. Resolution 300, very important. And what you are going to be doing is you're actually going to be making a black and white image. So you need to change your color mode to grayscale. And that will mean when you open up your images and drag them into this new titled Photoshop file, which uselman task, and go OK. That will mean they're going to automatically go black and white. So that's my new file. Click on this cross, which is over here in the tool icon. Click on that, drag, drop over. Okay, click all of them. No matter what, just click them all over and drag and drop them over. Alright, from there, shrink those boxes because you do not need to see them. It'll get confusing. And immediately save it. Okay, so Command S, and it's saving. So where are you going to save it to? Find the correct file. Done. Okay. In Photoshop, what happens is each image that you put into a file, drag and drop over, creates a new layer. The important thing with Photoshop, it's like pieces of paper stacked upon themselves. Okay, whatever is the top up here where it says layer 5 is on the top. Okay, so it hides everything else below it. Alright. What you need to do from here is just ignore all of the layers and everything stacked up. I'm going to deal with what I want as my background first. Okay, so I know I want the sky, so I'm going to position the sky how I want. You need to transform it, so you need to size it, scale it up and down, okay, how you wish. Never do this, okay? This whole free transforming thing, this is a big no-no in photography. We do not want things squished and warped out, okay? If you do that, hit enter, okay, and then you need to undo it. So you can do Command Z and it will undo. The big thing in Photoshop is you are only able to undo once, okay? So let me do this again. I'm going to do that, okay, Command Z, and it's gone and undone. If at any stage where you have a whole lot of things that you've done and you want to undo them all, what you do is you use this palette over here, which is your history palette. So what you need to do is, if you watch me, the blue is highlighting where I'm at now. If I step back, okay, and it's showing each of the steps that I've done to create that. You need to be aware though that history does have a limit as well. So history will not go on forever. And each time you close out of a file, your history is erased as well. Okay, so over here, let's get this to full screen. Holding shift down will mean that it will keep its proportion, and then you've always got to remember to hit enter after you do transforming, because now I can move it around. If I do not push enter and I want to try and change anything or do anything, it will not let me, okay? Alright, from there we're going to work with our layers, and you'll see now it's hiding everything below it. So I'm going to do eyes indicate images turned on so that you can see them, you can view them, and the blue on the layer palette indicates what image you are actually working on. So if I wanted to work on the sky right now, and say I want to transform it and stuff now, and why is it not transforming that layer? Easy, because I'm not on the sky layer. See, the other image is highlighted, the other layer, okay? So I'm going to go undo, I'm going to go back to layer 5. Right, I'm going to turn that off because that's how I want it now. I'm now going to turn off some other layers so I work with what I want to use. Oops, and I've got 2 of one thing, so I've repeated the hands twice. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to trash it. I'm going to get rid of that. So what I do is I drag and I drop it down to the bottom of the layer palette, which is your trash. Okay, from here, I'm going to show you something. Okay, so it's highlighted now, the hand is highlighted. I'm going to drag and place it above. Now I'm going to turn the eye on the sky. Okay. Alright, I'm kind of happy with that, but oh no, I can't see the sky now. I'm going to have to remove the background. So, to remove the background, you can use the eraser. Okay, so this tool over here is an eraser. If I use the box brackets, okay, large, small, it will decrease and increase the size of the brush. Problem is, with an eraser, let's try and do it properly. It's actually a little bit complicated trying to get in and work around things without, oops, without deleting, okay? So that's a big no-no. You don't actually use the eraser. What you do use, let's go back up to here, so now I can see. What you do use is this lovely tool, okay? Over here, this is a selection tool. You have the use of, I think there's about 6 different, or more than that, probably about 10 different types of selection tools, okay? This here will just do shapes, okay? This one here, it's a lasso, okay? They're all types of lasso, so it means that you start from one point. Let's make sure I'm on, okay? And it has to be something which connects. So you get a little, okay, you get that little, oh, where are you? There we go. That little circle goes on the arrow. That shows that it's indicating. And then what is called running ants happen. So that's now a selection. The problem, I'm going to undo it, so I'm going to deselect with using this selection tool, is that you click it and you got to hold it down. Okay, so it's actually a bit of a nightmare to use. The other one is magnetic. So what will happen is it just clicks on two things itself. Okay, and each point you click, it will adhere to. Okay, and you've always got to make sure that you connect up, okay, to get the running ends. So that's where you manually click, and this one, it will decide itself. Because what you're wanting to do is select all of the hands. Okay, there we go, and I got a, ooh, there we go. Now I've got the running ends. Not very good. Basically, you've got all of this white selected here and it's gone inside the hand here. It's a terrible way of doing it. So this is the tool, this lovely tool here. Okay, it's a quick selection tool. It has a plus and a minus. Okay, it's the size of your brush as well, so you can increase it and decrease it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to really quick, and you'll see straight away it's pretty much adhered how you want it. Okay, but it's got this white up here. I don't want that, so I'm going to go through, I'm going to use the minus and click it. I'm going to decrease the size of my brush, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go closer up because I need to look over here on this side of the hand. What has happened is it's actually connected inside the thumb, and I don't want that, so I'm going to zoom in. So you hold Command and plus, and if I hold the space bar, it means I can move the image without any problems. I'm just going to go out a little bit for you guys. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the plus, and I'm seeing if I can just take it out just that little bit more to make it a little bit more. Whoa, now it's gone too far. Minus, get that minus tool. Okay, so there we go. And I need to get in here as well. Okay, so I'm not going to spend heaps of time doing this because you guys don't have the patience to listen to me for that long. Alright, so I have a selection now. So what you can do is you go this, refine edge. Okay. And you'll see it's a bit jagged. It looks a little bit terrible. Okay. So what you actually need to do, you need to smooth it out. And you need to feather it so you don't get that jaggedness happening. Okay, can you see how that already looks a lot better? Feather it, there you go. Okay, so you've got all of these. I suggest you have a play with those. Now you go okay, then you do this magical tool down in here, which is a mask. So watch what happens when I hit mask, and it magically it's created a type of a stencil. So what it does is let some areas be revealed through and other bits are hidden. Okay. The other great thing about a mask is that it is non-destructive, so you can always get back over here your original image. So if I turn this off, so if I'm clicked on this layer, go up here to layer, I am going to disable the layer mask, so you can see that's what I originally had, and enable it. The other great thing about it is if I zoom in, let's see if there's anything terrible. It's not too bad. Oh yeah, that's bad. In here, we don't want that little bit of white showing through. So what you can do is you can fine tune and adjust it. You need to make sure that the mask is highlighted and go to a paintbrush over here. Make sure that you're using black or white. Okay, so I'm going to do this really obvious so that you can see. Highlight it around the layer mask. Okay, I'm using a black paintbrush. And what it's doing right now is it is taking away. You see the skies are coming back. All right. Click the layer mask, right? And I'm just going to and there we go. So the reason why, there we go. The reason why that was not looking very good is there's a big white cloud behind. Okay. Let's fine tune another area. Up in here. Okay, so that's cut off a little bit. White. Bring back your original image. Okay. White will always bring back. Black will take away. Alright. So whenever you are combining imagery together, you always use a mask. Okay, and you always want to try and do your selections and not just free do it like I just did then, because it always ends up a little bit really bad actually. Okay, I can see how that's starting to look quite unrealistic now. Alright, so got your basics happening. So then from there, I'm going to deal with the feather. So I'm going to turn the eyes off to these ones so I can see the feather. Click on the feather layer, and this is where the other selection tools are really good, because there are some things about this feather that are really annoying. So first of all, I'm going to try and just size it down a little bit. Alright, and now I'm going to do my selection. Okay, so it doesn't really work around in this area here. So if I deselect it, let's see what happens if I use the magic wand tool here, which is underneath our quick selection. And I now hold down shift, which will mean I get this plus thing happening. Okay, so there's a whole lot of stuff selected now. Alright, I can now go back into my quick selection and I can tidy it up a little bit. Alright, from here, go to your refine edge. There we go. Okay, and tidy it up a little bit. And I'm still not happy with down in here because it's not quite right. Okay, and I'm just going to do that just because we need to move on. Made this really quick for you guys. Alright, and now what's happened is it is mastered. So let's turn... Let's see what we've got. Okay, and you see that's not worked properly at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back through my history. Let's completely go back to here, our quick selection, and we'll get this sorted. Deselect it, and I'm just going to just magic wand it. Holding shift down, because magic wand you only kind of get one hit, one go at it. And it's very picky. Alright, there we go. Done really quickly. Fine it. Okay, not too bad. Pretty. You guys need to do it a lot better than what I'm doing. Okay, now I'm going to mask it. Alright, drag it above my hand because I want to put it on the hand. Okay, I don't like how it's sitting really flat there. I think that looks terrible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Command T and go up to here, and you'll see under Edit, Transform, you have the ability to do all these weird things. Okay, so if I go Warp, I have the ability to try and make it go into the shape of the hand a little bit better. Okay, obviously you guys have more time to do this, so I'm just going to hit Enter, Command T, I'm going to scale it down now, and I'm going to have it kind of floating there. Okay. The other thing that you need to do, like that is artificially sitting there. It's not quite right. Is you need to kind of give it some shadow. And what you can do to do that is you can go onto the hand and you have this tool here. You have your burn tool, your dodge tool, and your sponge, your burn tool. Burn is literally burning. Okay, so if you put down here, you never work at full strength because what happens, I'll show you. You get these ugly lines and dots appearing and it looks terrible. What you do is you just put it at a really light strength. It's all about building it up layer upon layer in Photoshop, not just going full strength for, you know, first time, because it will look terrible. Click, not on the mask, but the image itself, and you just do some, see, there we go, it's starting to get a little bit darker in there, so immediately it's starting to hold itself better. Alright, and now let's just quickly do the tree, and drag the tree right up to the top so you can see it, there you go, and this is a definite in terms of, it's a bit of a nightmare, you need to use the magic wand. Okay, I'm just going to quickly do it like that. Let's see what happens when I quickly refine the edge. And I'm going to mask it. Okay, so there you go. From here, and let's say, I'm just going to zoom in now. You go through and you tidy that up using your mask. So click on the mask. I'm going to use paintbrush over here. And see, black takes away. So always remember that. White reveals. And you can fine tune it. Okay, and you can tidy up all the edges and things in there. If I do Command 0, it gives me the full image, so you can see the whole image. What I want to do is I want to repeat that tree again and again. So on the layer, I click the layer, and what you can do is you go up to layer up here and you duplicate it. And I've got another copy. And I want to do another too, so I can click on those two layers and I go duplicate layer. Done. And so I now have 4 copies of tree, but what's happened is I duplicated above each other all the time. Okay. Oops. Okay, come on. I have Photoshop set up, so I have the ability to click on various things and it's going to take me to that different layer. I don't think you guys have set up in that way. You may be. Okay, so what I want to do is that tree there, I want to drag it so that that is above there. There you go. So then I'm starting to play with different layers. So some things are overlapping the hands and some things are hidden behind. Okay. But, oh no, I've lost my feather, and that's because the feather stayed below, so you cannot see it. So that needs to be dragged up above. Okay? And there you go. You guys need to fine-tune things, though, because that's done way too quick, and it's not looking as good as what it can. The other thing that I need to tell you about is when you select something, you know, I might just actually bring that up. When you select something, so let's just, okay, I'm going to change the tolerance so that it's higher. It's going to pick, okay, it's going to pick more things at once, okay. From there, if I hit my mask, it's not letting me do it, and that's because you have a lock on a layer, so you've got to get rid of the lock. Double click it, hit enter, and it's gone. Okay, so now I can mask it, and it's masked around the outside. If you want to mask the inside on something, then you go up to select and go inverse. And now do it and see what happens. It's the inside of your selection area is selected. Alright, so that's kind of a really quick basic of how to use masking. There's a whole lot of other things that Photoshop is capable of doing. This is just scratching the surface. You need to have a go, and I will be there to support you and help you out, okay? So you always got to remember, though, you've got to get that file size 6x8. It always, in Photoshop, always, no matter what, your resolution, DPI, has to be set at 300. Otherwise, you will be making a really teeny file size, and your image won't be able to be printed large. Or the other way, you'll make a huge, like, A1 banner size image, and that will just completely shut down the computers and stall it. Okay, so from here, remember to save your work, and in Photoshop, constantly save, and then you print it photographically, and it's 6x8, and you're done.